Jeffrey Dahmer was obsessed with Star Wars and wore yellow contact lenses to resemble the Return of the Jedi villain, the Emperor. The only one of the prominent serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer. He's much creepier because of his collected demeanor and candor about his actions. He has been named the Milwaukee Cannibal for his gruesome deeds. But there's more to know about this terrifying person. Here are 5 bone-chilling facts about Jeffrey Dahmer that you should know. Number 1. About his family. Jeffrey Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960. His birthplace is Milwaukee, in the state of Wisconsin, United States, where years later he committed most of his crimes. He is the son of Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, a middle-class family. He was described as a happy and energetic child until he was 4 years old. After that, he had to undergo a surgical procedure to repair the double hernia he had. This situation seems to have affected their development. That adds to the birth of his younger brother, and the constant changes keep him a bit isolated from his family and other people. Despite being a lonely boy with no friends, during his childhood and youth, no extraordinary events could contribute to his future behavior. Dahmer assured that his childhood was anything but tragic. She has never experienced abuse or physical abuse. This information confused the specialists of the time, especially psychoanalysts, a little confused. Number 2. First murder. 3 weeks after graduating high school, Jeffrey Dahmer committed his first murder. Dahmer killed an 18-year-old hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks by hitting the back of Hicks' head with a dumbbell. After this criminal incident, it took Dahmer almost a decade before he killed his next victim. Number 3. The police found human remains in every utensil in Dahmer's apartment. When Jeffrey Dahmer was finally arrested by the police on July 22, 1991, they found human remains in almost every utensil in his apartment. Dahmer was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, for a reason, you know. After killing and dismembering his victims, Jeff took out their internal organs, scarred the flesh off of their bones, and consumed them. According to the serial killer, he ate his victims because it made him feel like they are a part of him. When the police searched Dahmer's house after his arrest, they found the severed head of Canaric synthasophone and the internal organs of others in Dahmer's refrigerator. Apart from that, they found multiple bottles of hydrochloric acid, a large canister, in which Dahmer melted the flesh in acid, and several skulls. Many of the skulls were painted by Jeff to make them look like artifacts. Number 4. How did Jeffrey Dahmer die? Dahmer was killed on November 28, 1994, by his fellow prison inmate Christopher Scarver. In accordance with his inclusion in regular work details, Dahmer was assigned to work with 2 other convicted murderers, Scarver and Jesse Anderson. After they had been left alone to complete their tasks, guards returned to find that Scarver had brutally beaten both men with a metal bar from the prison weight room. Dahmer was pronounced dead after approximately 1 hour. Anderson succumbed to his injuries days later. In 2015, Scarver spoke to the New York Post about his reasons for killing Dahmer. Scarver alleged that he was disturbed not only by Dahmer's crimes but by a habit Dahmer had developed of fashioning severed limbs from prison food to antagonize other inmates. After being taunted by Dahmer and Anderson during their work detail, Scarver said that he confronted Dahmer about his crimes before beating the 2 men to death. He also claimed that prison guards allowed the murders to happen by leaving them alone. Number 5. Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses for sale. Jeffrey Dahmer had a foreboding look, partly because of his eyewear. And now the shades he wore in prison are up for sale, and they'll go for more than anything at LensCrafters. Taylor James, who runs Cult Collectibles out of Vancouver, Canada, tells TMZ. He's willing to part with the serial killer's prison glasses for $150,000. Taylor says he got his hands on the shades a couple years ago, along with a bunch of other Dahmer memorabilia, after being contacted by a former housekeeper for Jeffrey's father, Lionel. Taylor agreed to manage and sell the collection through his website for a portion of the profit.